Shabbat Shalom. All praises, honor, and glorification unto our power. Kol Halayim La, Allahayanawa Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai scattered across the earth. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be entitled Pulled Off That Old Nigga and That Old Bitch Daily. Right? And Lord willing, this lesson will be a land back off of the video that the elder brother Amawan Gabar put up. And his channel is GMS Awakening 144 Ha Amawan Gabar. Yep. And the video is entitled, as you see. Right, so Lord willing, this lesson will be at land back once again. And, as it says in the title, man, that's a major part of this truth, self-improvement, right? And increasing in the spirit, so on and so forth. Becoming more disciplined, right? So once again, that's a major part, putting off that old man and that old woman too, So first, and it all starts in the mind, right? It's almost like the mind is the core of occurrence, if you will, right? The mind is the mind is pretty much the core, right? So let's see, put off that old nigga. So let's get 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter. Right, 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, and the 34th verse. Right, because a big part of, coming into this truth, right, you have to subdue your own understanding, right? All the stuff that you learned in the world and took hold of, you have to let that go. Right, 2nd Esdras 14 and 34, therefore if so be that you will subdue your own understanding and reform your hearts. Your heart is talking about your mind, right? Ye shall be kept alive, and after death ye shall obtain mercy. See that? And the word means, the word reform, or rather, and reform means again, and then form means to create, right? So you're reforming your mind in accordance with the word of the Lord, because in the world, our mind was in accordance with the world, right? But being brought into this truth through the mercy of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, your mind has to be, in accordance with the Lord in his ways, right? And, the scriptures, right? And also in the world, we contained the carnal mind. But when you put on that new man, or when you strive towards putting that new man, you're becoming more spiritually minded. Right, so right, let's see. So let me get Galatians, the 5th chapter, regarding becoming more spiritually minded. Galatians 5 and 16. Okay, we get this. Galatians 5 and 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Right, and also you got the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, and the 5th verse. And it reads, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. Verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, For it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. See? Verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of the Anointed, he is none of his. See? So that, and there's certain examples within the scriptures that show forth the element of being spiritually minded, such as Job, the first chapter and the second chapter, right? When you look at the reaction of Job, it wasn't too carnal. It wasn't carnal, right? Job's reaction to his, things that fell upon him as being his lot, his reaction was spiritual and, righteous when you read the first chapter and the second chapter. So Lord willing, I'll read those too, Right, but, so let me get Romans 12 and 2, and then I'll get those chapters, Lord willing. Romans 12 and 2. And it reads, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Right? And the word renewal, let's see. Well, right here it says the replacing or repair of something that is worn out, run down, or broken. Renewing. To make like new. See that? For the word renewing. To make new spiritually. See? Right? Freshness. So let me get Second Corinthians. Salakia, 2 Corinthians. I don't think I got it. Chapter 4 and verse 16. And it reads, for which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Right? Because it's a daily thing. It's not a one-time thing. Right? There's always room for improvement. And how you look for different things that you can improve on is by way of self-examination. Right? Self-reflection, so on and so forth, looking where you're falling short at, acknowledging it, taking it on the chin, repenting if it's necessary, and getting back up, right? Getting back up, because the scriptures say, let's see, Proverbs 24 and 16. Let me get it. And it reads, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Right? So you falling doesn't make you unjust. But if you were to stay down, then you'd be, dictated, if you will, as unjust. Right? I'm not sure if that's the word to use in that sentence. Let's see. Dictate definition, lay down, authoritatively prescribe. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let me get the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 21, and it reads, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him as the truth is in Yahweh Shai, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, right, conversation meaning manner of life, the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man which after the Most High is created in righteousness and true holiness. 25, wherefore putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Right? And let's prove that word conversation is talking about manner of life. What was that? Okay, Ephesians, the 4th chapter. Conversation, the old man. When you see it says manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment, right? So it's talking about in a manner that one operates, right? Right, manner of life. See, so let's see. So we can get those chapters, just showing examples of how Job was spiritually minded. So this is Job chapter 1 and verse 1. And it reads, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. Eschewed meaning shunned. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses in a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses every one on his day, and sent and called for their sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were going about, that Job sinned and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed the Most High in their hearts, talking about their minds. Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them, showing that Satan is a son of the Most High as well, right? Because you have that doctrine out there that, Satan and other angels rebelled against the Most High, which is complete bullshit. The angels don't rebel against the Most High. Right? That never happened. That's bullshit. That doctrine is bullshit, man. And matter of fact, to prove that, let's see. Right? Ecclesiasticus 39 and 31. It reads, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. That's in the book of James. Okay, I'm trying to see. Let's do this. Look at that. Okay, Psalms 103 and 20. Let's see what that is. Psalms, Sluggy 103 and 20. It reads, bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. So all the angels listen to the Lord. They don't rebel. So that doctrine of how they rebelled and then were kicked out of heaven, and man, that's complete bullshit. And really, a lot of people get that from the book of Enoch, which is not of the word of the Lord, right? So, but continuing on, let me get the book of Job. Let me go back to Job, just to, just wanted to, the Spirit had me touch on that. So Job 1 and 6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. 13. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job, and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Verse 18, While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Now, let's read about Job's reaction. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped, and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Verse 22, In all this Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly. So this was the reaction, which his reaction showed that he was spiritually minded, right? And he contained the understanding that the Lord is balanced, right? The Lord gives, the Lord takes away. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. The Lord bringeth up and bringeth low, so on and so forth. The Lord humbleth, and so on and so forth, right? So Job understood the element of balance and how the Lord is balanced. So once again, verse 21, and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Right? They have that saying, you don't take anything in this life to the grave with you. You die, you go alone. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Right? So this is Job, the 2nd chapter. Let me see. Okay, Job 2 and 1, which, this chapter is not that long. Job 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Right, save meaning accept. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? And then she said, Curse the Most High and die. Showing you how the woman is the weaker vessel and more accessible to Satan than men. Why? Because the woman is weaker, as it is written. Right? Let's get that. Giving honor unto the wife. 1 Peter 3 and 7, it says, Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Right? Showing you that, of course, and even when you go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, but I will have you know that the head of every man is the anointed, and the head of the woman is the man. Right? So, of course, the head is stronger. And the head of the anointed is the Most High, right? You know, the head of the woman being the man is stronger, right? So, well, yeah, you know, the head is stronger, right? So, going back, let me just close this. Bear with me. All right. Okay. All right. Where were we? Job 2. No, we were in Job 2. Job 2 and 10, right? But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? Right? And all this did not Job, Salakia, did not Job sin with his lips. Right? So once again, that's, the element of balance again, right? Good and evil. So it says, what? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. Right? And then we don't have to read the rest, but I'll just read it. Verse 11, Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept, and they rent every one his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. So that's pretty much the point, of this lesson. With that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call Halim La Allahayna wa Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rakak, which is to say, all praises unto our power, Yahweh, in the name of his son Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Right? Once again, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai scattered across the earth. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. While Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha Abba. And Shalom DT soon, and stay sharp. DTA soon meaning death to America, if you didn't know.